Uh, we would pack up and be able to stay out for a week. So once we went in our area of operations, we were never resupplied. No friendly forces contacted us. Now they call it going dark. Then it was just, if someone wanted to put in an airstrike or artillery or anything, they had to get our permission first. They had to call the team because we owned that area. No one could do anything because no one knew where we were. Most of the time, they had no idea where the hell we were.
And you didn't want to get killed by friendly fire.
No. They almost did it once on us. But anyway, so basically, we packed for a week. Sometimes we'd be out maybe a day or two, and we'd do what we had to do. There was no more staying out there. Get back in. I've had missions as short as 3 or 4 hours. We'd go in, get in a firefight, and get back out. The basic principle is once you get in contact, you are to leave that area as quick as possible. Because here's the problem, there's only 6 of us. Even though we're heavily armed, we have an initial shock value, but we don't have staying value. So you got to get out of there. You just flat ass got to get out, or you're going to be dead. That's that simple, because they'll try to chase you down. So the day before or the evening before we would pack up, we needed new ammunition, reload our magazines. The food we ate was called long-range patrol rations. They were the original freeze-dried rations. They were specially made because we couldn't carry C rations. They're too heavy. You can't carry a week's worth of food with C rations. Yeah.
And then what, water as well, or were you?
Most of the time, you didn't have to worry about water.
Yeah, purification pills for
right. Yeah. Because most of the time up in their area, the streams were mountain streams. They're very nice, very nice. So you would pack up. Okay. The way I would dress, you dress from the inside out. You put your uniform on. And the first thing I would put on was my compass. I'd tie my compass. That knife next. So, and then you put on your web gear, and that's a belt that goes around like this and suspenders. That's where you hang everything, okay? So you put your magazines on. I carried 8 fragmentation grenades. I kept them in a canteen cover. I never hung them. Always kept them in the canteen cover. No choice of a spoon popping off on you. That's not good. On my web gear, I did keep 2 smoke grenades. I also had a white phosphorus grenade. I had 20 magazines of ammunition for my M16. In addition to an M16, I carried a M79 grenade launcher. That looks like an old single-shot shotgun, breaks down.
Seen them.
Fires a 40 millimeter grenade cartridge. The cartridge looks like a 45 caliber ammunition, pistol ammunition on steroids. That's exactly what it looks like.
They're not very long either, are they?
No, they're on. Now the one I had, the rear sights were removed. The stock was cut down, so basically it looked like what they call a horse pistol that they had in the Revolutionary War. Because I don't need to aim it, you just point it and shoot. But the main problem with them is they have to go so far before they go off, so you don't kill yourself. In lots of cases, we were too close to use them anyway. But anyway, I carried one of those, 16 rounds. Let me keep going through. A pound of C4, 20 feet of det cord, various fuses, timing fuses, stuff like that. Let's see. Claymore mine. Everybody carried a Claymore mine. My poncho rolled up in the back. that was pretty much your basic combat load, okay? So we're talking 30, 40, maybe 50 pounds right there, okay? And then in our packs, and the packs we use look like what hikers use. They were aluminum frame pack, you know. They didn't look like the normal Army packs. Maybe they do or use them like that, but at that time, this was aluminum frame camouflage pack. And in there you had your jungle sweater, which is a wool sweater, your jungle blanket, your food, some extra water, extra pair of socks, and then on top of your web gear, you kept a can of what they called a blood expander. Basically, it was saline solution. So if you got hit, you could give yourself an IV.
Right.
Everything was in there. You opened the can like you opened a can of Spam. You know, had a little key and you screwed it around. Out came a plastic bag with a fairly long piece of tubing and a thing you could insert into your.
Was the saline solution, was that pre-made with the water in, or did you have to add the
No,
water?
everything, no, you didn't have to do anything. Just pull it out and insert it in your arm or their arm or whoever arm.
Yeah. Did you have morphine vials?
Oh, no, I carried those.
Did you?
That's because, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I carried quite a bit of medicine. On your pack was strapped a light anti-tank weapon, a law. Okay, so we carried 4 of those. They were good for breaking off contact, because they could put a pretty good hole in a tree, throw some shrapnel out. So yeah, we carried 3 of those. The 6-man team had 3 laws. And that's your basic combat load. Okay, so we're talking 80, 100 pounds, somewhere in that area you're carrying, you know?
Yeah, so I'm curious about the decision-making process with 6 people, how you went about making decisions as to when you engage, when you would leave,
That was my
where
job.
would you go? Okay, so
That was my job.
that was your job?
Yes.
And would you ask for opinions and then make the final decision, or was it just, we are doing this, here we go, there we go?
Basically, a team works together long enough, you pretty much know what you're going to do. You don't have to even say anything.
And that comes with experience.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Getting to know each other. And
Exactly. Now, when we set up for an ambush, we use the Claymore mine. I don't know if you're familiar with the Claymore mine or not, but it's about a pound of C4 embedded with steel ball bearings, and it's a shaped charge. It's in a little plastic thing that's got a little peep sight on it, and you can kind of aim it. Has 2 legs that split out. They're sharp metal. So the good thing about them was that you could take the legs and jam them into a tree, okay? Because essentially we worked pretty close, so you had to be behind something or the mine had to be behind something because of the back force, back blast. Mine would point down the trail and one mine would point up the trail. Now the 4 in the middle were all wired together. So when one went off, they all went off. How we did that was each mine had a firing port on each end. So the first mine you'd load with an electrical detonator, and you had a little clipper thing that generated a spark. And then in the next hole, you took your det card, tied a little knot in it, stuck it in there, then run det cord over here, det cord over here, and det cord over here. So when you blew this one, all of them blew at the same time. Det card, you can't tell when one goes off the next. I mean, it's gone. So that's the way we worked it. We did not blow that many ambushes, simply because if you're working a trail and you notice the trail's being used, you've got to be damn careful about when you're going to start something because you don't know what's coming around the corner. I mean, and lots of times we just let them walk by. We take notes of what they were wearing, how many there were, if they were North Vietnamese or whatever, most of the time they were North Vietnamese, and just let them go by because they never knew we were there. I led around 34 missions, somewhere in there. I didn't keep exact track. We were never detected once, not once. Now we ran into people, but as far as us setting up on an ambush or setting up, just observing an area, they never knew we were there, ever. One incident was, we found this area where it looked like people had been stopping there and taking a break. So we said, let's watch it for a while. And come to find out, there were about 30 guys came around the corner and they stopped there. It was next to a stream, and they started cooking lunch. That's what they were doing. Well, I'm laying there, probably from here to that edge over there. And the next thing I know, I see this guy start walking towards me. He keeps walking, gets closer and closer and closer. And I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to kill this guy without the other people knowing? Because this is getting serious. And about from here to the chair behind you, he stops, turns around, takes his pants down, and takes a shit. Now, he never knew I was there. Didn't see me, never knew me. And that's how good we were. I mean, we could watch you and you had no idea we were watching.